What's going on, guys? It's your boy JT Knows Things, and we are back to the beautiful crypto den here. Thank you for tuning back in. I really, really, really appreciate it. I also appreciate all the engagement I've been getting. We're pushing 800 subs, super pumped about that. I know those aren't crazy numbers, and I'm still a wannabe YouTuber, but I am very excited about the growth of the community. We passed 1 million views last month total across all of our platforms, and it's only up from here, guys. So thank you for all of your support and engagement in this community. I love seeing some of you guys just consistently comment and engage. It really does mean the world. Shakespeare, James, and Canto, I got you guys. Thank you. Um, Today, I want to preface this before I get into it. I am not a massive believer in technical analysis on smaller time frames. On larger time frames, I wouldn't call myself an expert. I don't trade charts, but I use certain data points and certain indicators that I consider and most consider the best thing we got to leading indicators. Because they measure momentum or movement or confidence that the market has. And what I wanted to do is just break down why I believe Bitcoin is only going up from here outside of sentiment. The sentiment should be clear. ETF's been approved, traditional finance is backing it, the halving's coming, like so much stuff. But I wanted to actually break down some charts and indicators to help you better understand why I believe Bitcoin is in a really good position. And why the rest of the market will follow in tow as it always has. Before I get into all that, to those who do not know, my name is Jake Tullis. I am a software development consultant of 10 years, and I own and operate a hedge fund out of Cincinnati that exclusively invests in digital assets or crypto. This has been my home since probably 2017. This industry has kind of got its hooks in me, and software especially does. And I think it would be very valuable to kind of show you the basis of my decision making that I have made my investors a lot of money on. And hopefully you can take something from it and make your own adult decisions as educated as you can. And that's always my goal. I'm just trying to help you guys look at this stuff from an institutional perspective or a professional perspective. And, any likes, subs, and thumbs up makes the difference for me. So, let's get right into it, okay? First thing I want to show you guys is the price of Bitcoin here. The two indicators that I want to cover are down below. This is stochastic RSI and MACD. First, let's cover those, and then we're going to get into this chart. So this is from Google, not me. This is not my opinion. This is a very sophisticated indicator, right? It is basically calculated by subtracting the 26, so that's half a year moving average, and the 12. Well, it's period. So it could be 26 days, 26 weeks, 26 months. You get it. Um, Same with the 12 thing, or the 12 period. And then the signal line is the 9 period. So these are the traditional settings 26, 12, 9. I believe I just have the 12 and 26 on this MACD, which is fine. I don't really care for the signal line too much. But what this means is we're talking about the moving average price of whatever thing you're looking at and its relative convergence or divergence. That's basically the relationship between the 26 period and 12 period line. So divergence and convergence is demonstrated here. And then down below we have um, I would say volume. Okay. And then stochastic RSI, strength and weakness of relative strength over a set period of time. So this is basically how much liquidity is coming in and out of the market at the period you select and relative to the rest of market in general. So like this is how many more buys than sells there would be um, as an example, right? The biggest thing, and again, this is not my, I'm not a black ball magician with this stuff. The real thing you need to understand is, generally speaking, when the blue line is on top, we print higher prices, generally. And when the orange line is up top, we print bad prices, generally. Now, again, these are all statistics and probabilities. This is not magic. This is not accurately guessing the future. Again, these are just temperatures. These are just behaviors to observe and predict what could have the highest probability of an outcome. Okay. Um, for example, I'm sure a lot of people got faked out here. Boom, boom, boom. We had a death cross, is what it's called, where the blue line crosses below the yellow line, right here, right here. We printed lower prices. People might have held bags thinking it's going to go. Then we had a golden cross. We crossed up. Prior to printing this, we had a cross up of the stochastic RSI, and then we also saw a cross up right before this printed, a golden cross up. So we faked out, bounced off the bottom, and you can see here the price went up. Now, that's not always the case. I'm sure if I keep scrolling, we'll find situations where this doesn't apply. So, again, not magic, just charts telling you what has happened in the past. And these do present a lot of patterns, and a lot of people make a lot of money off these patterns. Crypto Crew University is an expert. I highly recommend you go there to better understand um, these charts here. But the biggest thing, I use stochastic RSI and MACD to determine the confidence the market has in a specific asset. Do they think it's going to be worth more in the future or not? That's how I read and look at these. And then price, it's irrelevant. I know that's crazy. I can make a video about price theory, but really, price is just a balance between buys and sells. It's like someone bouncing a ball off a paddle, and that price is only determined by what investors think and feel. That leads me into the last indicator. That's fear and greed. This is basically an index, if you will, of all of the different stuff out on the internet talking about bullish or bearish. What does the general public think this asset's going to do? And we're at extreme greed right now. This can get all the way to 10 or 12, all the way up to plus 90. This tells me that the market generally is very, very greedy right now. They have a high expectation of this asset's performance. Now that you understand the general idea, I just want to give you the general temperature of Bitcoin, okay, and then explain why that matters. So it's a two-parter. First, you have to understand the time period. This is the day. So each candle is one day. There's a certain amount of volume and money transacting each day, and these candles encapsulate all of that activity in real time. You can see here blue is up. It is above both, right? And there's more buys than sells. Okay. What happens if we like go back to a week? Interesting, right? Still very positive sentiment, very positive confidence that the market has that this asset's going to can persist. What about the month? Yep, still there, still bullish, right? We've been this way for a while, guys. Each candle's a month now. We're talking about an entire month, billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars probably coming in and out of Bitcoin, and this many more buys than sells. So the market's very confident. Go to 3 months. Same story, guys. Okay. I don't even think the MACD populates 6 months. These are, this is 1 year right here, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You get it. These are big candles. Still, half a year, blue lines up top. So right now, there is no large time frame. This might even be like if we're talking about all these candles, this is trillions of dollars, guys. Trillions of data. And they all suggest that the markets believe the entire asset is going to appreciate. There's no bearish data to show you guys on any time frame regarding these two indicators or the price movement for that matter. Looking at this on a 3 month chart, let's just scroll back a little bit. Boom. October of 23, boom. July 20th, look what the price was. Look at these crosses that determine the price here. These are how I make decisions on larger time frames. I place my bets based on the general action of these two indicators and what is going on in the market. Are they printing money? Are they cutting rates? In general, I look at these indicators for a temperature check. Again, I'm going to keep saying that. This is not all of my decision making, there's a lot more involved, but what I do want to highlight is no matter what time frame I look at, everything's bullish, guys. Okay? Everything is bullish. We have greed at all-time highs. MACD and stochastic RSI suggest that prices are only going up all the way to 6 months. Um, the halving's coming, and we might even cut rates. The scary part is the rest of the world is going to shambles. We have commercial not bankruptcies, foreclosures almost 8 times. It went from 1 to 9% in the past 4 years. We have China down 30%, like the entire GDP. We have their real estate market crashing. We have England's banks going under. We there. This is a very serious world we live in right now. World War III might happen, might not happen. I don't know. What I do know is Bitcoin is going up, and it has been doing that ever since we had that golden cross March of last year. I was buying at bottom of fear, and I sell top of greed. I buy during and after a death cross, and I sell after a golden cross on very large time frames, 6 months, 1 year, 3 months, things like that, because you have to understand the amount of money, the amount of volume, the amount of capital that goes into those candles is significant. If you zoom into 1 hour, 1 minute, you're talking a few 100 million. This industry is so small, I don't think that's enough data to make good judgment and good decisions. You're likely to get burnt. Um, what we could be seeing is the decoupling. I don't know if that's what happens or not, but I'm still very confident in Bitcoin as an asset. And as Bitcoin rises, this is what you need to understand. If you've been in the industry long enough, you'll see a lag. Bitcoin hits, let's say it goes up 10,000 in price. Alts are going to rally 2 or 3 fold because they're much smaller market cap and they have a lot more room to go. 10 billion in alts does a lot more to that market cap or the prices of those assets relative to their market cap because Bitcoin is so large, 10 billion doesn't really move it anymore. What people do is once they make profit in Bitcoin, they trade the pair. So if you bought Bitcoin at 15, you're up at 60, and you still think the market has a long way to go, you might trade or swap or do a pair trade BTC to any of the alts. And that's really what you see that lag. As Bitcoin dominance, meaning its market cap relative to the entire market, right? As that increases, that's risk off, meaning people would rather have Bitcoin than risk their money elsewhere. And as Bitcoin dominance goes down and price rises, that means that risk is on and alts are off to the races. So if Bitcoin does well so far, as long as this industry's existed, it suggests that alts will also do well, if not better. And that's really the reasoning behind my logic so far. And it's been good so far. Go look at my first video of what I'm talking about. I started making this content when Bitcoin was trading at 15, 17, 18, 19K. And myself, my family, and my investors are very happy that I've spent the time to learn this knowledge. And hopefully you learned something. Again, I'm not an expert at technical analysis. I don't claim to be. I would highly recommend you take a look at Crypto Crew University. That guy really does understand this at a deep level. He understands charts the way I understand technology. This is a fundamental channel. I teach you about the technology, um, but these are financial assets, and technical analysis should be a tool in your belt for, in my opinion, nothing more than just getting a temperature check, a feeling of what the market thinks, because that's what determines price at the end of the day. Thank you all for showing up and listening to me ramble on about this stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, take care of one another. Peace and love, guys.